6 weeks or so, and they've been playing well. What is it about their game that has allowed them to have some success?
Well, they're a fast team. Whether they got injuries or not, they forecheck. They're fast. They're on you. Their D don't give you any room. They play as a unit of 5. Obviously, they're a well-coached team. There's no freebies against them. Goaltending's good, so they're a real good hockey team.
I think Matt Murray will be glad to get this one over with.
Yeah, probably. When you get traded but I guess get traded, but when you leave a team, traded or what have you, and you go back and you play your old team for the first time, there is something weird about it. Especially when you're drafted somewhere and you grow up there, you kind of think you're always going to be there, and then, that's just not the way sports is anymore. Very few guys stay in one spot. And then you go back and you play them. It's a weird day. The whole thing's weird, but it's probably better being at home in your new building as opposed to going into the old building with the locker rooms and everything. So I'm sure I'd be happy to get this done and move on.
Do you think, it's been so unusual, right, the last couple of years, and to have to wait as long as he had to actually do this?
No, absolutely. And, usually it's, that year or the next year and you're done with it, And I'm sure, there's some guys that never get used to it. But for him, I'm sure he'd just be happy to be done with it. And, he's a pretty quiet guy. I'm sure he doesn't really want a ton of stories and things like that. He just wants to play.
Sidney Crosby stands on the verge of a milestone 500 goals. I'd be quite certain that Matt Murray probably doesn't want any part of that history, right?
Well, yeah. It's a strong point there, Bruce. I don't think anyone wants to be a part of negative history when you're the guy receiving. But in saying that, Sidney Crosby's been a fixture in the game for a long time now, and one of, if not the best player for a long time. A lot of the face of hockey, and he's done so many good things for the game. It's great to see him at this milestone, but we don't want it to happen in Ottawa.
DJ, 2 out of 2 on this homestand so far. What have you guys been doing right these last couple of games out of the break?
Some timely goals, great goaltending. Playing as a group of 5. We're playing hard. We don't have a ton of scoring, but I think we're playing better away from the puck. We know what we have to do to try and win games in this league. Right now we're feeling good about ourselves, at home. It's the first stretch at home here we've had, in a little bit. Guys are feeling certainly better here. But in saying that, every night's a new challenge. You look at our schedule, there's team after team coming in, Pittsburgh, Boston, Washington. It doesn't slow down. St. Louis, it just keeps coming. And we just got to worry about ourselves, do what we do game by game.
Do you have any thoughts about the Brad Marchand suspension, that he's not going to be here Saturday?
Be unfortunate he doesn't get to play. No, he's one of the best players, if not the best winger in hockey, one of them. So to say that I'm upset that he's not here, no. But we have our own guys out too. So again, I don't spend too much time. I think sometimes you get caught up with the other team. We just got to worry about what we do. And if whoever they got out there, we'll do our best to shut them down. But we got to continue to get better as a group ourselves.
What do you tell your guys about defending a guy like Sidney Crosby? Why is he so hard to defend?
Well, he's strong. His turnbacks, he can pass on the forehand, backhand the same, but I'm not going to tell him much. These guys are good NHL players, and the more time and thought you put into all these things and talking about it, you make them larger in life. And you know what? I got good players too. We got good players in that room. They're going to go out there and do their best.
So do you notice a difference feeling at all around the group of late, and just when it comes to embracing the challenge, yes, undermanned, and then going up against some of the better teams in your conference?
Yeah, it helps when you've beaten a few of them, you know what I mean? Until you beat one, like the winning in Carolina was probably huge for us at the start of the year. And then all of a sudden you just see what your mind tells you that you can do it. And we've beaten other good teams. So we know if we do what we have to do to the letter of the law, we have a chance every night, and that's all we do.
One of the things you talked about was establishing yourself at home. Do you feel like you're getting there? And how much of a difficulty has the empty stand been in all that?
Well, certainly without our fans, it isn't the same. The 500 fans, it's good. At least there's some noise. But, the way these guys are playing and playing hard, You'd like them to be rewarded with fans and fans to get to see them. In saying that at home, you know what, we're a physical team, and we want to be physical. And, you know, for us to win hockey games, we can't give you any room. We have to be physical all over the ice. Forwards, D, what have you. We can't give you any room, and we'll continue to try and do that again here tonight.
If Stützle gets a chance to take some draws against Sid, is there something you can talk to him about? Like when Crosby broke into the league, he wasn't very good on faceoffs. And is that an example you can kind of show Tim that, hey, it's a learning process, and maybe 87 is a pretty good example of that?
Well, you look at lots of centers that break into the league. Majority of them are well under 50% in their first couple of years. I think Barkov, his first 3-4 years, he was in the 46 range, if I'm correct, 47. Now he's 58. It's going to take time. So it's a learning lesson for Tim. But in saying that, he's getting better every day. And if he's struggling real bad, Brady can jump in and take some faceoffs. But, you know, maybe other than a defensive draw here and there, I'm not going to, you know, pull him off if he's out there. He has to learn.